We got a big concept to go over today, and in some ways, it's the amalgamation of everything that we're trying to get states to do. It's called GPS. We're going to rebrand GPS today, take it a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper, because here's what we're seeing. As much as we love the fact that people are talking about pathways and some people are saying guided pathways to success, which is what we started calling this thing 3 years ago. And that's all good because lots of people are having those pathway conversations. What we're finding, though, is that people are saying things like, oh, pathways? Yeah, we got that. Degree maps? Yeah, we got that. We've had those for years. They're in the back of our course catalog, and sometimes incoming freshmen take a look at those. Check. They're not focused on the key elements of these things and implementing the idea of pathways with fidelity. So today we unveil GPS Direct to add extra clarity to the key components that must be a part of your GPS work because they act synergistically with one another to produce the results you want. We're telling you, if you want the results, if you want to see the potential of the success enjoyed at Arizona or Florida State or Georgia State, who you'll hear from later today, you must do all these things combined. So let me take a moment to walk through the key components of GPS Direct, the non-negotiable components of GPS Direct. And then we look forward to being able to say that Indiana is a GPS Direct state. The Georgia is a GPS Direct state. Not simply guided pathways, they're doing pathways work. Purpose, not placement. We'll have a whole session on that in a few moments. But this is where it all begins, helping students make informed choices of their futures. Helping them as early as possible, maybe even in high school, begin to think about what they want to do in their lives and how that can inform their choice of meta majors and majors. Meta majors, you've heard us talk about this before. We've talked about behavioral economics and the hardcore fact that humans can be overwhelmed by choice. We know from the behavioral economists that we can only handle about 6 or 7 choices. We know that we're more likely to make good choices when they're opt-out choices, not opt-in choices. We've gone through all that before with you. And so we have reduced down the choices that incoming undecided freshmen have to make of meta majors, big buckets of programs, STEM, business, education, health. Many of you are doing that work. Meta majors are critically important in order to enjoy the success you're looking for these kids. On-time degree maps. Degree maps are a series of sequence courses, including critical path courses, which must be achieved in the right order. But they have to be built on time. We're trying to show them a structured path to on-time completion. Okay, that's why 15 to finish matters, or getting 30 credits a year done matters. Has to be on time. Has to be highly structured. Has to have in its makeup critical path courses. The courses that you have determined in working with your faculty and department chairs, the courses that must be accomplished in the right sequence in order to ensure steady progress toward the goal. These critical path courses have to have academic rules associated with them. You can look at the data, and Tim Rennick can tell you about this, and our friends at Education Advisory Board, who will be with you in a moment, can tell you about this. There are key indicators, GPAs and other indicators, that will tell you in advance the likelihood of you being able to succeed in your program. If you don't get a C in anatomy, then it's highly unlikely you're ever going to complete a nursing degree. Things like that. We talked about mathematics aligned to majors. That has to happen. It's a critically important part of this. You have to align mathematics for the discipline that the degree map is associated with. Non-negotiable. Students who come unprepared need co-requisite support. You heard all about that yesterday and the remarkable success of those initiatives. Okay, We have the meta majors. We help them make a choice of the meta majors. We've created highly structured degree maps. We know the best course for them to travel in order to complete on time. Now what are we going to do? And for some reason, folks, this seems to be the hardest thing for you guys to do of all. Put them on the path. Put them on the path. They know you're the experts. They want your wisdom and advice. If you know this is the best sequence of courses to get a biology degree, you've built the map, why wouldn't you say, now you're on it? Unless you've got a better idea, you're on it. You're defaulted on it. You're automatically registered into it. Whole program choice. Let the students come to you and say, you know what, I got a better idea than this one. That's okay. Let's hear them out. But don't make them choose courses on their own. Don't give them a map and then send them back to their dorm room and hope that they'll register for the thing you told them to do. We're going to learn about how technology is advancing at amazing speed to allow you to be able to do this seamlessly now at your colleges. Proactive advising is critically important. You have to watch their progress along their degree maps. You have to be able to have the technological capability to engage in those moments when they slip off course, when they need your help most. Instead of being overwhelmed with filing cabinets of students you have to touch once a semester, isn't it better to touch those when and as often as you need to keep them on track because they're struggling? We can do that now, and you'll learn more about that from EAB as well. Recalculating. Our friends at the University of Hawaii are better at this than anyone else. Things will go wrong. We know that. Life's complicated. Bad choices are made. Even courses are failed. Critical path courses, which cannot be failed. You may get a D in a critical path course when you needed a C in order to progress. You need to be able to recalculate that map. Just like when you make a wrong turn in your car in GPS, it says, right, recalculating to get you back on track again. The technology will now allow that to happen, and that is a critical component of GPS Direct, the most direct and shortest path to graduation. So, it's as simple as this. We have to help them choose their path. Choose your path, you say to the students. Choose your path. We're going to help you make that choice. Choose your path. Start your path. Once you've chosen the path, do it. Get on it. Travel your path. It's not an option. Stay on your path. When things go wrong, that's okay. We'll recalculate. We'll get you back on track, but we want you to be on track, not roaming around on your own. And graduate. The numbers prove that structure leads to completion. Don't be shy about that. Don't be shy about it. So GPS Direct is about informed choices, helping students choose. Informed with data, informed with previous results about students just like them. They tell me at Georgia State it's a whole different conversation when you sit down with a student and you say, you know, we know about students just like you. We've got data from 10,000 students just like you. And when they slipped off track and they missed this critical path course, bad things happen. So let's have a conversation based on that. Intentional. GPS Direct is an intentional process. It isn't a smorgasbord of choices. It's highly structured and intentional. You're going to graduate on time, and we're going to do everything we possibly can to make that more likely. Yes, it's intrusive. Choose your word. This isn't about being voluntary. This is about asserting ourselves to help these kids instead of sitting back and watching them stumble. And it helps them achieve their goals in time for them. I hope it's on time as much as possible. You want to do something about college affordability? A 4-year degree is cheaper in 4 years than 5 or 6. A 2-year degree is cheaper in 2 years than 3 or 4. Sometimes things will go wrong. Sometimes they won't be able to finish on time. But if you're focused on reducing the time to degree, they'll finish in time for them. So GPS is happening all around the country. We've got big leaders in this room who are making a difference right now, taking GPS to scale. You can see that almost 1.3 million people, over 1.3 million students right now are in states or institutions that are implementing GPS. The final thing I'm going to say real quickly here is, and I'll go into this a little bit deeper when I have more time, we're going to also establish a standard for the software companies that are working in this area to vie for our good housekeeping seal of approval. So when you're out there making choices of software to help you accomplish GPS Direct, you'll know that they earned the gold star from us, that their systems have all the critical components in place to be GPS Direct, not simply GPS.